Welcome back, watch fans. We have shocking news in the world of Rolex, Tucker Carlson, and demons. That's right, we're talking about demons. Unbelievable but true. We're not even talking about chupacabras. Maybe Juan and Kino, the grifters, the hubcap thieves from Miami, know all about the chupacabras. And the news came out that Tucker, who wears a Rolex Datejust, I believe it's an all-steel model. It's with a Jubilee bracelet. It's a classic watch from the 80s. Claims he was attacked by demons. That's right. Tucker Carlson claims he was attacked by demons. But this is a shocking story because the demons part is not the shocking part of it. This guy, okay. So the story is is interviewed somewhere. I don't know. I saw this clip somewhere, video. He was saying that he sleeps in bed with his wife and 4 hunting dogs. That's right. Let me explain this. This is a man who says he sleeps in a bed with his wife and 4 dogs in the same bed, one bed. Okay, so you know the 2 cups, 2 girls. What was it? What was it? That viral thing from a while back. Okay, so Tucker and his wife and 4 hunting dogs. I'll leave it to you to fill in the blanks about what goes on. It's one bed. I'm assuming it's a king-size bed, and he's sharing it there with the 4 hunting dogs and his wife. And now that's not weird enough. Now I know it's a little weird. I do know that some people do sleep with their dogs, which is a little bit weird. But it's weirder if they sleep with their, with a woman or whatever, or, maybe 2 guys. I don't know, but you share the bed and the dog. That's just kind of weird. I mean, forget about the dog is dirty. I mean, the dog actually, I know people they love their dogs. I know everybody in America, they love their dogs and all that. They love their dogs more than people. But besides the fact that dogs are kind of, they're just, listen, they're great animals, but they're dirty, right? I mean, you've had in this bed, the fleas and all that coming off. I mean, it's unsanitary. But the bizarre thing is, imagine, the weird stuff that goes on in this bed with him and his wife and 4 dogs. What kind of activities these people are engaged in? Okay, so something is definitely, I don't need to, have you fill the blanks and use your imagination. But anyway, Tucker Carlson says he was sleeping in bed with his wife and 4 dogs, and one night he couldn't breathe, and he walked outside, and the dogs were still sleeping. Something with the dogs, and then he noticed he had claw marks on his back. The next day he woke up, and he still had claw marks on his back, like imagine it's almost like one of those, very passionate, intimate experiences, and he's left with claw marks in his back. It must have come from the dogs. I'm assuming something went on with the dogs. And he says he was attacked by demons, because he says basically he was attacked by demons. It's not the dogs that did it, it's the demons. And Tucker Carlson has been talking a lot about demons. Now, why do we bring this up on a horological channel here? Because this channel, our goal, again, this is, first of all, make sure you click the like, subscribe button, and also that you, send money now, or actually join the channel. You become an aristocrat. That's right, $4.95. You become a baron. Click that join button. You get access to top secret content, and you become an instant aristocrat. And it's life-changing. It's transformational. Like, many people have joined, and they've literally made millions of dollars. And they've had all sorts of amazing things happen in their life. We're talking about money, fame, love, sex, power, influence. What else people want? What else? Health. I mean, all these things happen when you click that join button. And look, anyway, so Tucker Carlson. So one of the things we've been saying is that you got to have gold on your watch. You got to have at least a 2-tone to keep the demons away, because there's a lot of demons out there. I've talked this before. There's that reverend who flies. He's got a couple. There's a guy. What's his name? We have a video of him on the site. He's one of these televangelists, and he says the reason he doesn't fly commercials is because he doesn't want to be packed in a tube full of demons. That's right, a tube full of demons. Here's what happens. So look, not all of us, are fortunate enough to be able to fly private, right? I mean, yours truly has to, share. Even the colonel has to fly commercial. That's right. It's sad. This is why you got to send money now. But this is why you got to have some, at least a two-tone watch, because the gold keeps the demons away. That's right. It repels demons. The more gold you have, the more demons you could repel. And I think what happened with Tucker is his Rolex stainless steel, I believe it's an all-steel watch, it didn't have gold content in it to repel demons. By the way, gold prices have been going up. Remember I told you after, I said, wow, my God, I did the video, I said, wow, the market must have topped me because there was this bukyak that's sitting next to me at some restaurant talking about gold stocks and blah, 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 and, I said, this must be the top. But of course, then I did another video, I said, look, there was a big pullback. It was almost like a 10% pullback in the price of gold. Now, I don't think the gold price is done. I think we had a nice sell-off correction, and I think we're going to see some, mega high. I mean, it's getting heated. It's getting heated. There's always two waves in these markets. There's the first wave, but the big money is made in wave 2. And I believe that's starting to happen now. We're going to see a parabolic move. Why? I have no idea. I don't understand. I don't think gold is worth $4,000. I think gold is worth $2,500. It shouldn't be trading at more than $2,800 in my opinion. But I think we could see a move to like $5,600 or something crazy like that. That's right. You Google it. You write this down. My prediction is gold hits $5,600, and then that's it. It's going to be all over. And I think that's when I'm going to cash in. Let's just say, we have to liquidate some of the positions. Now, back to the story of the demons. So look, you got to have if you're wearing a steel watch, a stainless steel submariner, the demons will attack you. There's nothing you could do about it, especially if it's a black dial submariner. Now, by the way, I got a watermark on my dial. Now look at this. I don't know if you know this. You see what happened here? The back of this clasp fell off. This is Rolex quality fire. I just want you guys to know this. Rolex their quality is they're having some issues. This gold piece here, which apparently I don't know how it was glued on. They laser welded. I don't know, but it fell off. Luckily, I actually still have this piece, but it literally fell off. Now, I get this blank space here. It's a bit of that Marlon Brando vibe. I may have to wear it like this. Marlon Brando famously had a Rolex GMT when he was filming Apocalypse Now, one of the greatest movies ever made. That's right. He was also a colonel. That's right, Colonel Kurtz. Now, look, do you see a common pattern? That colonel, he didn't have a roll. Listen, every colonel has to have a turning bezel, and the Colonel Kurtz had instead of a turnograph, which is this colonel had in Vietnam when I served my country proudly, shooting down MiGs over the Gulf of Tonkin, and wearing my Rolex turnograph. And of course, Colonel Kurtz, who plays a fictional character by Marlon Brando, who's not even a real. This guy never even served his country, but this guy. Was wearing a Rolex Submariner. I think it was a Pepsi. He must have had a Pepsi. And Francis Ford Coppola, great director. Did he make? I think he made that. That's his movie. Who's also, by the way, a watchman. He's a watch connoisseur. He's actually liquidating some of his watches next month, including an FP Journe, which is a unique piece. With the hands, that whole hand thing. The hand. Anywho. So what's going on is that they're in the jungle. And by the way, I highly recommend you check out. There's an outtake on YouTube. There's a scene, a deleted scene. I think it was called the French. What the hell is it? The French. When he went up the Delta, it was the what do you call it? The plantation, the French plantation scene, the French plantation dinner scene. Unbelievable. I mean, it's crazy. This was a deleted scene which cost like millions of dollars literally to shoot that scene. He deleted it. I don't know why, but it was a cool scene. Anyway, so Francis Ford Coppola and Marlon Brando, they're in the jungle, you know, hanging out, and he says, look, the watch you're wearing, the Submariner, this is too flashy for the Colonel. You can't be like a crazy man in the jungle wearing a Submariner, you know, Pepsi. So Marlon Brando basically took out a knife or something, and he pried off the bezel. That's right, he pried off the bezel, and it was like just a naked, you know, there's no bezel. It was just, you know, the hour, you know, so that piece was missing with the red and blue, or it might have been black. I think it was a Pepsi though. Anyway, so that famous watch, I think it was sold, but you know, for whatever, some tomato can, some crayon eater bought it because he says, oh, if I wear this watch, maybe I'll be cool like Marlon Brando. Well, I got news for you, my friend. You're not going to be cool like Marlon Brando because you're wearing his watch, okay? You're a low-life bukyak, and you're a tomato can, okay? The best thing you can do is invest $4.95 to click the join button, become an aristocrat now. That's right, click that join button. Anyway, back to the demons. Look, guys, if you don't want to be attacked by demons, you got to have at least a two-tone watch. Now, I highly recommend at least, I think a good, very all around safe bet is a Rolex day date, okay? Vintage day date in full gold on a strap. That's right, which is kind of a low-key watch, but it still it still repels demons. And we know that, of course. I think Baron. Baum, what's his name? You know, the Baron with the linen dial. He bought a linen dial for his watch. I think he also has a Vacheron. Now look, these watches he picked up once. Look what happened. How he transformed his life. It's because he became a baron. He became an aristocrat on the channel, and all of a sudden, you know, his horizons expanded, and now, you know, he's escaped the Matrix. And the demons are not able to attack him, while they do attack Tucker Carlson. That's right. It's unbelievable, but 100% true. So, what else can I tell you, my friends? Okay, bottom line is this: you gotta don't be like Tucker Carlson, and get, you know, he probably. I mean, I'm assuming there was intimate activity with the dogs. I'm assuming Tucker, you know, was getting sandwiched by the dogs. You know, use your imagination. You know what that is? You Google it. That's right. You Google it. Anyway, Tucker, if he was wearing the day date, I mean, or yeah, I don't understand. You know, this whole pretense, this Carlson with the checkered shirts, with the rolled up sleeves, the oh shucks thing, you know, that is a mega grift. Okay, this guy's probably, you know, I listen. I think he should just embrace the fact that he's making what, $20 million a year. This guy's like not a poor guy, right? He's got to be worth at least what, at least $50 million liquid. Well, maybe less. Who knows? We don't know what his situation is. You know, and his father, I think, was worked for the CIA. That's right. He was part of the deep state. Tucker Carlson is a deep state demon magnet. That's right. You know, Watch Nicholas is a chomo magnet. That's right. You know, Watch Nicholas, just like Tucker Carlson gets attacked by demons, Watch Nicholas is constantly getting groomed and attacked by chomos. That's right. His channel is like chomo bait. It's a chomo magnet. I don't know why that is, but I think it's because he doesn't have any solid gold or yellow gold watch. Now, we know he has the Yacht Master on a rubber strap, but I think the problem with that watch is it's white gold and it's on a black rubber. I think that combination, white gold, black rubber, is à la poubelle. You know what that means? You Google it. That's right, you Google it. Yeah, I think that the combination is wrong, and that's probably why he's getting attacked by chomos. Now, if he had, look, if you're gonna do the Rolex Yachtmaster full gold, with the rubber, which again, the rubber thing is just, the black rubber is very, it gives off weird fetish vibes, like weird German fetish videos, with all the toilet stuff. You know what I'm talking about. You Google it. The stuff that Juan and Kino do. Anyhow, I think if you do that watch, you got to go with the rose gold, which at least is kind of a cool watch because it's got that ceramic bezel instead of this rose gold. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really crazy. But look, guys, just be aware. Rolex are scammers, okay? And they did not honor their warranty, the promise. They broke the covenant with the colonel, okay? And this is let this be a mark of shame for Rolex. That everybody should know that Rolex is using cheap glue. That's right. They glued on that piece of gold in the back. So that's what's going on. Rolex, a bunch of scumbags, degenerates. Now, there's a few watches that are actually okay. Now, I think at the end of the day, there is something. I gotta say, look, there is something kind of unique about Rolex. When you actually touch it physically, it's kind of like gold. It's like holding a gold coin. Saint Gaudens, the gold 1 ounce. You hold it in your hand, and you just, you get it. Look at this. You got the birds. You understand what's going on. And there's something, you hold even a vintage. They just, two-tone. I think it's got to be two-tone. I don't know. There's something about that oxidized gold. The two-tone, it's got that funky kind of like, it's got patina. The steel doesn't get that same, I don't know, the steel just, you gotta have, I don't know, you really do. I think with Rolex is just, it's one of those things, you gotta have the two-tone. I hate to say it. Some watches are good in steel. Rolex actually needs to have the two-tone. It really does. And you'll notice that Rolex only became successful when they started doing gold watches and two-tone watches starting in the 1950s. That's right. Before the 1950s, Rolex was basically falling behind Omega and other shitter brands. Rolex was basically a shitter brand. Unbelievable but true. And what happened is once they started doing gold, they started, people realized the demon-repelling powers of the watch. And they became more successful. I mean, you Google it. You ask yourself, why wasn't Rolex successful before they started doing gold? All right, that's what's going on, my friends. Look, click the like, subscribe button. Tell your idiot friends, and join the channel so you can become an aristocrat. Your mind can be expanded. You can. It's totally transformational. It's a totally transformational thing for your life, and you'll escape the matrix. Now, ask yourself: do you want to ride the school bus? You want to ride the bus with the demons in a box full of demons? It's your decision, my friends.